Today, I am joined by 2 fifth graders at Brigantine Community School, and we're hanging out in the Book Nook. And we are excited to share with you our brand new segment that these 2 just named moments ago. So let me introduce to you, we have Lorelei and Gavin. So Lorelei, why don't you tell us, what are some things that you enjoy doing other than reading?
Well, I do really like reading, but I also like play sports like softball and dance, and also like in the summer I would go to the beach and so.
And Gavin, what do you love to do besides reading?
I like to play baseball a lot and go to the beach and have fun with my family.
And Gavin, let everyone know you just named this segment seconds before we went on air. What's the name of our new segment?
Let's Talk Books 2.0.
And why is it Let's Talk Books 2.0?
Well, when I came up with the idea, I pitched it to Miss Grimley because we had a segment called Hooked on Books, and people started to think it got old, the name. So then I came up with the name Let's Talk Books. And then I named this segment Let's Talk Books 2.0 because we are talking about books today.
Gavin and Lorelei, you were sharing with me that you read together as a class. So who is your reading teacher?
Miss Murray.
Yes, Miss Murray. We're not in the exact same class, but we have the same teachers.
Okay, and what did Miss Mary just have you read together?
Number the Stars. Yeah, Number the Stars.
By Lois Lowry.
By Lois Lowry.
And what was your high point of the book and what was your low point of the book? So Lorelei, why don't you tell me your high point?
Ellen stayed over at their house, even though it was a bad time, but Ellen stayed over at their house because the Nazis were out for Jewish people, and she is a Jewish person, and that they were really nice and let her come, even though they risked their lives to do that.
Very difficult time in our history. So
yeah.
Gavin, what was your high point in the book? What was your favorite part?
Well, my favorite part was probably when Kirsty in chapter 1, a Nazi soldier by the name of Giraffe, that they nicknamed him, he touched her curls and she said, "Get off me." That was my favorite part.
Why was that your favorite part?
It's just a funny moment in general, and it's just funny. Completely.
And she stood up for herself, right?
Yeah.
So good for her. Okay, so now, what do you think this book taught you as a class?
Just to stand up for yourself, even though sometimes things are really scary and
Yeah, life is hard, right?
Yeah.
Gavin, what do you think it taught you as a class?
And sometimes, in some ways, people aren't always trustworthy, and you have to trust the right people. Just like Anne-Marie trusted Ellen, and Ellen trusted Anne-Marie.
That is a very big life lesson, learning to trust the right people, right?
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, I did not like reading. It was super hard for me. Give me all the crowns, give me all the markers, all the paint, the 3D models. I loved it. But ask me to sit down and read, forget it. It was really hard. So parents, there's hope because now I love reading. I don't get to do it as often as I like, but I promise you they'll come around. However, I do remember as a kid, one of my favorite books was Charlotte's Web. Have you both read Charlotte's Web?
Last year, yeah, Miss Palmer.
And we watched the movie, too.
Uh-huh.
So, Gavin, was this the first book that didn't make you cry?
I never really cry when I read books,
but
and
did
I'm honest.
Okay.
It kind of did.
Yeah.
So,
Lorelei, did this book make you cry?
No, I don't really remember reading it that much, though.
I think this was the first book. It really pulled on me. It got me. I was like, no, not Charlotte. So, what are you 2 reading right now? Do you have suggestions for the kids that are watching today?
Yes, I'm reading The Cindersing Sweetness of Splendid Academy.
Oh,
well, I already finished it, but yeah.
Okay. And what is your recommendation when it comes to this book, Lorelei?
When it comes to this book, I would probably recommend it third and up because there's some like scary parts in it, and
Okay.
I wouldn't want like younger kids to get really scared.
So this is not a book you should read before bed?
No.
No. Okay. Maybe
I
in the
read
morning?
it and I had to skip a chapter because I got so scared.
I understand. I wouldn't want to read that before bed. So what is the main theme of this book?
It's like kind of like trusting people and what they say, but sometimes you can't trust people. Sometimes you can trust them, sometimes you can't.
Okay. So do you prefer nonfiction books or fiction books?
Probably fiction.
Fiction?
Or nonfiction, I don't know.
All right, so let's chat with Gavin. Gavin, what are you reading right now?
I'm reading The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's a Philly story from 2008,
Okay.
and it's about the run to the World Series.
And what happened in 2008 with the Phillies?
The Phillies won the World Series against the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yes, they did. Were you even born yet, Gavin?
Nope, I was born 2013.
All right. So what's the theme of this book so far?
I haven't finished it, but honestly, I can't come up with a theme. I have to finish the book first, always, to come up with a theme for
Okay.
a book.
So do you prefer fiction or nonfiction?
Nonfiction. I gotta say this about me. I'm pretty much a history geek.
Okay.
gonna say it.
I'm with you. I like nonfiction. I prefer biographies. Give me the facts. Teach me some lessons.
Exactly.
I want to hear from people that have lived through experiences. Nonfiction is sometimes hard for me to get into.
I'm more of like
Here, give her the mic.
a historical fiction because I like when there's made up characters, but it's also like a real event.
Okay.
Like I like the I Survived because because it's like fake characters, but it's like yeah, it's real events. So
Okay. All right, so you heard it here. Historical fiction is something that Lorelei loves. Gavin and I are on the same page. Give us the facts. We want to learn lessons.
History nonfiction. It's
There
my
you go.
favorite.
So thank you to Gavin and Lorelei for giving us some wonderful suggestions. I'm looking forward to seeing where this segment takes us. We would also love to hear from you. If you read any of these books that Gavin and Lorelei have suggested, send us a message. Drop it in the comments of this YouTube video, or you can email me at brigantineliving@gmail.com, and maybe we'll have you on and we'll have a little book discussion. Before we go, I want to give Gavin and Lorelei a suggestion. Something we love to do in our house are daily readers. Have you ever had a daily reader?
Nope.
So I'll tell you what I love about the daily reader. If you don't have a whole lot of time to sit down and read, or you just struggle with focusing maybe, reading a whole chapter, you can pick up some daily readers and you just open it to the date and you read a quick paragraph. Sometimes it's just a statement, sometimes it's a full page, and they'll give you some, usually insight or some tips for the day. So one that I got for Emma is called A Year of Positive Thinking. And it's great because you just turn to the page and you read what it says for the day and you walk out the door with a little bit of a positive thought.
These sound like really good. I think I might try to buy. I think I might beg my parents to buy me one.
Yeah? Okay, we're going to beg Lorelei's parents. Maybe you can get her a daily reader. And the one that I read as a grown-up is by one of my favorite authors. He's a speaker and he's an excellent leader. And although I've never met him, I definitely turn to him as a mentor. John C. Maxwell puts out some great stuff. Anything by him I love, but I read the Maxwell Daily Reader every single day, and we usually wind up talking about them at the dinner table. All right?
Right.
Final thoughts, Gavin?
Well, that sounds great, but yeah, that's it.
But you'd prefer some chapters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather have chapters, and my whole family is history, basically.
It's history? Okay.
Yeah, and I would really prefer nonfiction books.
All right. Okay, so this has been our first edition of...
Let's Talk Books 2.0.
Okay. Until next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.